What a fabulous boat, the Princess 85 at ExCeL is what they call it. You know, when you look at these fantastic boats and how they have been put together, you know, they're perfection. And, you know, you see them on the oceans and they go well and they go fast. And, you know, I don't begrudge people having those things, because to me they're such a pleasure to look at. And I can tell you they're not cheap to run. I mean, just to take that thing out the water and then put it on a truck to cart it off somewhere is going to cost tens of thousands actually. Then to run that thing with all the diesel, etc., and then probably the maintenance, etc., you've got to understand is not a cheap proposition. And we all have the same problem. Fuel is the big problem that we all have, guys. And fuel costs are going to go up, and they keep on going up. And the government charges more and more tax. They're not going to stop charging tax. That's how they're trying to pay for all the expenses that they've got. And so what you've got to do is start saving money. And what we've got to do is start putting in fuel cells, and they can save up to 40%. It's a message I'm trying to put out. This is the important message that I want to tell you people about, is fuel cells, because nobody's getting the message out and nobody's talking about them. And people often say to me, well, why weren't we told? We could have saved so much money. And when I'm talking to people who's lost their businesses and trucks, etc., and they say, well, it's already too late. If we'd known about that, we could have been saving thousands of pounds. You know, 40% on £3,000 a week that some of these trucks are spending and more on diesel is a saving of £1,200 a week, which is £4,000 or £5,000 a month, which is 12, 48, 50, £60,000 a year. And then remember, 80% of a lot of this money is tax, because the government is taking all this money. So why pay tax? Why don't you put fuel cells in and save a lot of money? It cools the engines down, it makes them run cleaner, then of course the maintenance goes down them because they're running cooler. All these things. And the emissions, we put a fuel cell on a Mercedes-Benz engine the other day, and the emissions went down from 1.75 down to 0.8, and then even lower than that over the coming week. It just shows you how efficient these things are in helping to burn the particulates and all the fuels. Instead of wasting that stuff and blowing it out the exhaust, you're putting it and you're making the engine have more power from the same amount of fuel. So instead of depressing your foot 1 inch, or say 2 inches, you've only got to push it 1 inch to do the same power and the same speed. Contact us on our email address there. By the way, these are 2 pictures. This is for small vehicles, and this one here is for larger vehicles. You can put multiples on them until you achieve your 40%. Thank you very much for listening.